One of the things that we got to think about, and one thing that we live with here in Oklahoma, is wildfire. And wildfires can occur pretty much any time of year, but the biggest majority of our wildfires that we have in Oklahoma typically run from around November till March, the winter time, when fuels are dormant, vegetation is dormant, and we get a lot of drier humidities and things, and that's when we get a lot of the big wildfires, is typically during those winter months. And so coming into the winter, there's things that we should think about on how we might want to protect our home and protect some of the things on our property from wildfire damage. Several things that we can do to protect our house, the best that we can from wildfire. One of them is to make sure we mow that lawn there at the end, get it really short, keep the grass down around it real short, keep grass around our home and stuff short as far out as we can get it. Also, again, if you have a lot of trees, hardwood trees that drop their leaves, make sure you go ahead and rake those things up, remove those. Don't let them build up around the house or underneath the house, underneath your deck or things like that, where fire and embers can get in and cause that kind of damage. Because the thing we need to remember is most home damage that occurs with wildfires typically occurs after the fire front passes by the house. It's from smoldering embers and stuff that are landed in flammable materials around a house that start the fire. One of the most obvious things is if you have a fireplace, wood burning stove, and you stack wood up on your house. Don't stack it. It's very convenient to have it stacked on the back porch by the door, but think about if embers get in that can cause a fire. Another thing that we should consider is in areas where we live, where there's a lot of trees and stuff around our home, is to make sure we have stuff cleaned up around it. We prune those trees up where we don't have vegetation and stuff, limbs all the way down to the ground. Also in areas where you have a lot of eastern red cedar, you want to get those back away from the house, cut those things down, get them totally removed so they're not a fuel hazard. Kind of like this setting that we're at here, these folks had a concern about their house being so close to this area here with a lot of trees, and historically it had a lot of cedar trees growing up in it. They come back in here, remove the cedar trees, open it up. If any kind of fire comes through here, it's going to stay on the ground. It's not going to be a crown fire, a big hot fire coming up against their house. Be easier to put out and easier to protect that home. Yeah, I'm thinking about removing the vegetation, picking up around the house, making sure everything's clean. That way you can protect your house. It'll be easier for a fire department to come to protect your house in case of an emergency like that in a wildfire. Less flammable stuff that you have around it, the better off you're going to be.